All right, guys, welcome to today's podcast, Local Yokels Podcast, where we're trying to spotlight local businesses and nonprofits, charities, all that good stuff. And it's also want to mention it's brought to you today by RoofWorks Roofing Company. You can reach those guys at roofworks@midsouth.com. Probably going to get a hold of Josh over there, and his number is 901-500-7235. They will be helping you with all your roofing needs. If you would like to have them just come out and do a free estimate or fix a leak you might have on the roof, or just a whole new roof, like a quote, man. They're the most competitive people I've seen around. They do real quality work. So give them a call and see if they can help you out with something, okay? All right, guys. Today, my special guest in studios is going to be some of my newest friends I've met recently, and I'll explain more as we go. But we have the group of Outlaw Intentions. They are actually a group of builders, I suppose. They work on cars, do all that good stuff. And I've got Max Dever-Boaz. Man, that is a crazy name. We just talked about that. It's hard to pronounce. Say it for me.
Max Dever-Boaz.
Dever.
Yes, sir.
All right, I got you, yes, Dever. Sir. And then, of course, we've got the big boss. You can go ahead and say your name for me.
Garret Manos.
Yeah, good deal, Garret. Yeah. So that was a lot easier, Max.
Yeah, no doubt. I got you.
Sure. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having us, dude. I appreciate you taking the time out.
I'm glad y'all brought your tasty beverages with you. I told you just in case you need to wet your whistle. So
that's right.
This dude walks in with a literally Mexican Coke.
Yeah, they don't get no better, man.
A liter of cola.
A liter of cola.
Different out of that glass bottle, too.
Yeah, and the glass bottle is true Coca-Cola.
Absolutely.
Like it's got the sugar.
Real sugar.
Real sugar, yeah. Y'all probably needed that after a long day.
A liter of cola, baby.
Cola. All right, guys. So anyway, I brought you in today because, as we mentioned, it was, recently met you guys through a common friend of ours, Mr. Connor Matthews.
Yes, sir. Shout out Connor, no doubt.
And Strayhorn Construction.
Got to drag him up here one day.
Yeah. Well, I tried to get him on today. So he's out of town. They're in like a demo job somewhere up east.
Handcuff him, tie him down or something, drag him up here, not give him a choice.
But he's kind of why I met you guys. I called him about a project I wanted to do. And he said, I know the guys that can do it. He said they can turnkey the whole thing for you. So we are building a truck for a fundraiser I do called Feed My Lambs. And my friend Randy Hendrickson, who's a sponsor of the show, also helps me with all that stuff. He told me, and I went to work right away trying to find somebody to do all the work. And, of course, that's where I landed meeting you guys. Connor gave me your number. I reached out to Garret. And of course, Connor was in the mix there for a little bit, but he lives in Never Never Land. So, he can't get phone calls.
He in the Delta, baby.
Yeah, so I wound up having to, finally, I ran into, oddly enough, a good friend of mine, Miss Shelley Butler, works over there, and I was telling her about the truck. She goes, "That's my son-in-law." And I was like, well, let me call him. You got his number? And that's when I actually talked to Garret for the first time. So, but anyway, guys, we're there. We've greenlit the project. You guys have the truck, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So what y'all's goal, we gave y'all like pretty much complete creativity with this.
Yeah, so we got a 68 GMC 100. 67. Oh, excuse me.
Max, get it right, man.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I'm a metal man, look, okay.
Yeah, you did
67 GMC 100.
Yeah, C10.
Step side.
Mm-hmm.
That's finna be not that. We're going to make it a nice, respectable resto mod.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit lowered, I'm thinking, too. I know we talked about drop shackles on it.
Yeah.
Get the stance right on it.
For sure.
Wheels.
Yeah. Wheels, tires, get a stance out right.
Make it a metal piece again instead of a Bondo brick.
Might be a little Bondo in that truck. I'm not
just
sure.
A little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I didn't
test. It was really raining a lot when we was over there last week, and I was like, I'm not going out there. I just take their word for it. They're the ones
just a little cancer on the old gal. She can be resurrected.
All of it can be fixed, right? Like,
absolutely.
You got a project car you want to bring to these guys, they can fix it. Matter of fact, y'all had some cool rides in there. Connor's being a couple of them. I made light of the joke last week with Randy. We was talking about his sketch you sent you.
Yeah.
You showed us on the phone. I was like, my God, like.
We probably should have brought a copy of that up.
Yeah. We just embarrassed him a little bit. Yeah, he did not pass art class.
No.
But you got the gist of his idea.
He got a hold of a steakhouse napkin and some crayons, best of my knowledge.
He was probably at the levy commissary. That's probably where he was at down there. Yeah, probably. I asked him the other day because he was promoting them, and it is a cool joint, by the way.
Yeah, it's a very cool joint.
By the way, we're in DeSoto County, Mississippi, is where we're doing this podcast from the SRP studios. But these guys live in y'all live in Tate County.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And Connor's in Tunica. We have like this Four Corners thing.
That's right.
Where that's all connected down there. So Tunica County is where him and his brother, I think, live.
Yes, sir. That's fact. And then, cut off.
Yeah, and Ricky lives in big town of Strayhorn, which is in Tate County. Hence the Strayhorn construction logo.
Yes,
and,
sir.
But however, I'm from DeSoto County. Randy's from Tate. He lives in the Coldwater side of Tate. And so it is a North Mississippi initiative that we're doing here, but we're just all kind of spread out. We know each other through different connections, and I'm really glad I met you guys. When we walked in, I just felt it was so easy, and like Randy was a little bit nervous. He said, "Well, you're friends." I'm like, "I don't know them." I said, "I know them from Connor." I said, "I know Connor. I know his daddy real well, but I don't really just know Connor. Like those boys, I remember when they were like literally just kids, like little kids. And I don't even know how old Connor is now and Taylor. I think they're roughly y'all's age, right? Yeah. Close to it.
Yes, sir.
Young, grown men, but I look at it as young men, so I'm getting up there. So.
Well, we've created a cool little culture at our shop that I think resonates with a lot of folks. It's a little bit of chaos, as you've seen.
Well, I think that what I liked about the whole thing was he pushed you guys initially because he's like, man, they work on all of our stuff. And I know they got a bunch of cars.
Yeah, we started with Ricky through equipment, really, and then it kind of moved over to show cars and maintenance and all that stuff. Man. Yeah, they got a fleet for sure.
Yeah, let the creativity fly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. There's all kinds of wild stuff down there. It's like rides, like from the bus that y'all posted on your
lowered bus. No doubt.
That's a cool ride. Everybody likes that thing. Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah. It's a showstopper for sure.
Yeah, I seen you had that on your TikTok page. I actually reshared that because I just thought it was so cool. So, and then of course Connor's fire truck.
Yeah, truck.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So anyway, our focus on this truck is really we're going to do a giveaway. It's a raffle. And so when I approached you guys about it, initially Connor's like, "That's pretty cool, Neil. I want to get involved, and I think my friends will too." So we that's when I got a hold of Garret. I hadn't met Max yet. Me and Garret were just talking on the phone a little bit, and we were talking about what it was about, and you understood that it's not for profit. It's not my personal vehicle. Yeah. We're just trying to give something back. So we need some love back from you guys. And you're like, absolutely. And on top of that, it can be a showpiece for you guys as well. If to where, because I'm gonna let y'all drag it around. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like when it gets done, it's not going to be at mine or Randy's house. It's going to be probably with someone else going to a car show. Somebody, just because we want to advertise the program, Feed My Lambs, wherever y'all go to bring some notoriety. And plus, it's going to be an Outlaw Intentions full build, so it's going to be a good product for you guys to advertise your business with, and that's what I wanted, a good partner. And our goal was like, we don't want you doing it for free.
Right.
We got,
man, I appreciate you.
We got a lot of people.
Man.
Yeah, we got a lot of people that could do it for free. But one of the things what we talked about, it's time sensitive. Like it has to be built by a certain period of time. And, and we're, a vehicle like this, you could say sometimes take a year.
Yeah.
Because you got other projects going on.
Better than that sometimes.
Yeah, 2 years. I don't know. So, we had plenty of those friends. I talked to my buddy Randy about it, and he's like, "You're right. We got to just put it in the budget to pay somebody to do this work, And not that we didn't have plenty of friends offering to help, but it's also they have jobs and stuff like that. And we made it clear to y'all, we want you to make money, but we also want a little love out of it. We don't want you like being like, just because it's a charity, that kind of thing. So, and y'all were willing to do that. So for everybody listening out there, they're giving a lot of their stuff back here. And so when I did meet Max, when we come down there, I was like, well, Neil, did they tell you about it? Yeah, he told me I got to be like on my A game.
Yeah.
Really got to be on my A game. And then I found out later, part of this was because I had ironically reached out to someone y'all know quite well, Ronnie Giesling, Ronnie's Hotrods. And he told me, he's like, I'll paint the truck. And I didn't know him from Adam. I just kind of cold called him, and he's like, I'll paint it. I'm like, well, how much you charge me? And he's like, no, that I'll paint it. Like, just bring it to me. Yeah. Who's doing the work? And I said, well, Garret and those guys down at Outlaw Intentions. He goes, well, they're good. He goes, I actually know Garret. He's a good young man and all this stuff. And so I told Garret that. Garret's like, damn. That just put some pressure on me, dude.
Yeah.
Like this thing's got to be
high.
Yeah.
I love it,
straight out of the gate.
So like the standard's got to be really good for him to go in there and put his paint on it because his reputation. He even told me, he's like, I'm not coming on your podcast, dude. That's not who I am, but I'll send my kids or something. He goes, I just kind of let my work speak for itself. That's how I've always done my business. I think he's kind of a quiet guy by nature. He's not like just an in-your-face guy. So he's a hard working out there doing the work. right? Yeah. Him and his brother probably. I think he's got a brother or somebody.
Yeah, he's got a brother that I think works in the office, and his son works in there too.
Yeah. So they're a family-ran outfit.
Yep.
And
I look up to Ronnie a lot. I know he got the opportunity to work with him. I've just seen the stuff he puts out, and it make me want to do what we're doing now.
When I told people he was painting the car, everybody's like, "You got who to paint it for? What?" I'm like, "I know, right?" And he's like, "Man, that's not." That's not just like saying you got the guy at the local body shop to paint it for you for free. That's a whole different ball game. And I'm like, now I know. I'm starting to realize this value. It's an amazing gift he's given us. So thank you, for Ronnie, and at Ronnie's Hotrods down in Senatobia. I'll post up their stuff later on the link. We'll give them a little love on the YouTube page.
I can't wait to work with him, man. I'm super stoked.
Yeah. He just said, it's got to come to me right. That's what he told me. He said, I ain't got time really, but I'm going to make time if you'll get it to me right. So I told Garret, and then Garret said, well, my wife told me last night, dude, you were in trouble if you don't get that thing right.
As soon as I got home, I was like, man, Neil said that Ronnie's painting this car, and I was like, he set the bar just real high, just straight out of the gate.
There's probably some more around here like that's really good, but I mean,
David
I think
Kraft is really good. We use him a lot.
We know lots of people, right? And you even mentioned that name when I first talked to you.
Yeah, he's sharp.
I don't know him either, but however, I just picked up the phone through Tony Smith down at Northwest. He's like the guy that teaches all these guys around here. They're crafts, a lot of them, so they're friends. If you were in the auto body work around here, you probably went through his program, sometime in the last 20 years.
More than likely.
Yeah, and he knows everybody. So when he told me he was really busy, because I was thinking maybe he might take it in, because Tony's a vet. He's a good painter too, and his boys are really good. I mean, he's got one boy he's custom. So I met them. My daughter was in their program years ago, and she turned out to be a star student. Believe it or not, out of all those men,
that's cool.
He actually gave her a Star Student Award.
I'll tell you right now from my
But she never did nothing with it, to be clear.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Ashlyn, I'm still waiting. You could have painted this car for us. Do you understand me? I'm looking at you right now.
Women have steadier hands than men. I know a lot of fab shops hire a woman right now over a man.
Oh, yeah. She's really patient. It wasn't her path. She enjoyed it while she was doing the learning process, and then she realized the work that had to, you guys know this, like when you get started, like, and it wasn't even that. I don't think that's the part. She didn't want to be involved in the floor sweeping process.
When
you get into a new shop, you got to start at the bottom.
Yeah.
And she was excited about that. And I think plus just a lot of the opportunities were in the big city of Memphis, and it was just hard at that time. COVID was happening. I mean, it was just a real dynamic time.
Odd time, yeah.
Yeah. And so she was like, I think I'm going to take another path in life, So, but I think she's still curious about it. But he even told me that. He's like, man, she got so much promise, man. He goes, it's unbelievable.
Steady hands.
That's right. Yeah. So in the attention to body work, they're usually more in detail about their work too,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think that I still see that in her. Like she's going to do something. It's going to be right. She's going to try to do it the right way, So anyway, shout out to Tony and his gang down there. But he's the one who told me I can't do it. I got a friend. You might call him. He just said Ronnie. He didn't elaborate on who it was.
No last name.
So he sent me the thing and it said Ronnie Giesler. And I wasn't putting two and two together at the time. I just hit the number and I said, hey, man, my friend Tony told me to call you, and that's how our conversation went. He answered and which I was shocked about that even. He's not a big texter, by the way.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
not at all.
He don't respond. Yeah.
Call him, leave a voicemail.
He'll get back to you. So
he's old school.
He's old school, which I appreciate it, Ronnie. If you ever listen to this, we appreciate what you're doing for us. Huge gift and opportunity. So, and I know these guys are excited to work with you.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah. By the way, you are wearing your amazing hoodies today, Outlaw Intentions logo.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody where you can get those if they'd like to buy one or purchase. You got T-shirts. You brought me some real good T-shirts, different colors and stuff. Do you guys have those in different colors as well?
Yes, sir.
We got these in tan, black. We got some... my wife always corrects me on it, but I guess they're a sweatshirt instead of a hoodie.
Okay.
Yeah, without the hoodie.
Yeah. The hoodie is always the go-to.
Yeah, the hoodie is the go-to.
That's right. Tell everybody where you can get those at.
You can get them at outlawintentionsperformance.com or shoot us a message on Facebook and we'll get it shipped
same
out.
thing. Yep. Outlaw Intentions.
Yep, Outlaw Intentions.
Gotcha. And then also TikTok. Yep. Same thing.
Outlaw Intentions on Facebook.
It's underscore Outlaw underscore Intentions on TikTok.
On TikTok.
Yeah, that's
Everything else is Outlaw Intentions.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, well, that's cool. And then if they want to, kind of reach you for projects, like if they got something they want to do. like a hot rod, or maybe just want to get some body work done, or what else do y'all do down there? You do LS swaps, everything, right?
We do LS swaps, we do coyote swaps, and kind of our day-to-day is diesel repair.
Right. Around here, that's probably big.
Yeah.
Yeah, repair, maintenance, custom fab.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Lift kits, wheels, tires, sprocket lights, wheel lights.
Right.
Just kind of the whole custom realm.
Yeah, stock's not an option at the shop.
Yeah. So what do y'all think the most things you do, like, to keep the doors open? I know, like, you love special projects like we're doing.
Definitely diesel repair.
But diesel repair is what's keeping the doors open.
Work truck, everybody's F-250, the Ram 3500s, Duramaxes.
Well, you mentioned you were doing a lot of Ricky stuff, so I'm sure it was just like a lot of motor issues and fuel system issues and stuff like that.
You don't know what he's going to show up with.
Oh, my God. Yeah, man. This guy's, he's everywhere.
He really is.
Yeah. I've never seen a guy more. I said this on the podcast the other day. You talk about, like, the craziness of their lives. Like, They run hard. They have a good time. They got this amazing life. They'll just take off as a group and go somewhere, in the bus that y'all are working on currently. I don't know who built that bus. I think he bought that like at a show one time or something.
He did. We just maintenance it. That's a fact.
Yeah, but it's cool. But man, they work hard, man. Like, those are some real hustling dudes. Like, I say that all the time. Like, I don't know anybody that gets involved in so much stuff.
They're the true definition of rednecks with paychecks.
Oh man,
I encourage all their bad decisions. I love it. I can't wait to see what they come up with next.
The Redneck Riviera,
yes,
the tender cut off. I haven't been down there since they've done all that. That's what I think. That's what I always thought about that place before he ever got it. Like 20 years ago, I used to go down there and I'm like, this is just nothing but a place for rednecks to go and get away. Trailers on stilts.
Boat in the air.
Yeah, boats in the air, stuff like that. And it's a cool little getaway. I don't think there's many of those like around here because up in DeSoto County, there's only one place you can get in the water at down there.
Yeah,
Bass Landing. So,
well, I will tell you, he's cleaned the place up a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You would not recognize it.
They
got a bunch of RV spots out there. now, and it's really, really.
It was cool back then. It really was. I know y'all are, you're old enough to remember what it was before the big flood got it all back in 2011, I think it was, but. But, it was still kind of a cool little place to go to. There's lots of places, and people from the Memphis, the big city, had places down there just to get to go fishing on the river and stuff. Because, like I said, there's not many entry points. Like,
one way in, one way out.
Yeah, that's about it. So, anyway, cool. I appreciate all what those guys do. And they're supportive of what I do, and I really appreciate them for that. Going forward with this project truck, I want to talk about it just a little bit more. I know the original color I sent you guys, and we'll post a picture right here. Derek will post that while we're talking.
Nice.
But, it's the baby blue. All right. So that was the color I initially said. Just I thought it was cool. It's a single color, and I know Ronnie said if we get into too much candies and stuff, it's a whole nother kind of work. The whole truck's got it. Yeah. So I was like, okay, we'll keep that way. And then, of course, Randy starts thinking, well, man, maybe we should let people decide. That, obviously it's going to other people, so let's get like a common feeling on this, like from Facebook or something. So on his page, he posted a picture of it and the form it's in now, what y'all have. Okay, he took a picture that day.
The blank canvas.
Yeah, the blank canvas. Without putting the blue on there. And everybody's from lime green to pink to yellows to reds, it's just all over the place. And so I'm not dead set on the blue. But I also want it to look, like a common color everybody would kind of enjoy, So I don't want that too wild. But with y'all's ideas, I know we talked about originally a blue body with a white cab, white fenders, all that stuff. And then me and you were talking, and I said, what is your thoughts? You're like, I love the blue, but I think we need to go with something a little different than the white because it looks like everything else out there, and it's like something a little different. So that's why I said, look, I'm open. Tell me your thoughts. I'm not even stuck on the blue. I'm just saying.
As far as the color goes, I like the blue. The picture and stuff we'd looked at was more like a matte blue.
Yeah.
But I think we should do like a silver.
I'm not good with color names, by the way. I just called it like baby blue, sky blue, something like that. You call it a matte blue?
I'm gonna say it's like a matte blue.
Okay. I like that though.
And I really think we should go like silver, or a darker gray
with the trim
on the trim, all the accent pieces in the grill and the roof, and just tied in together with the wheels and everything else. Set it off.
Yeah. What do you think, Max?
I love the gray. I like the patinaed look too. I don't know how much people are into that, but you could save like your blue with the patina and they clear over it.
Yeah, like patina just a little bit.
Just a little bit of patina, not quite.
Like on the corners of the fenders and stuff.
Right, just a little
paint
splash
does cause
here
stress.
It does.
Yeah. No doubt.
I've seen a couple that look distressed after they've been painted. Yeah. And that's a cool look. But I also know that's a lot more work. Like,
it is.
People don't realize, like, that's a whole nother paint job. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking, man, I just tore up a $4,000 or $5,000 paint job trying to get it. But it is a thing now. People love it, you know. So then you clear it.
I'm with him, honestly, with the kind of resto mod that we're looking for. I think that blue with a darker kind of charcoal or maybe like a gunmetal almost.
Yeah. I think you said, you know, some folks, we'd probably mock up one on the computer or something from the picture we got.
Start playing with some colors.
Yeah. Start playing with some colors. We're going to definitely get rid of the big bumper on the back and probably try to roll it in somehow, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of all the shows and stuff we go to, like wherever mainstream set it, I kind of veer the other way. So.
Right, you just try to go
a
away.
little different. Yeah.
You know, out of 20 C10s, you know, 18 of them got white roofs. So,
right. That's what you told me. So like I'm down with that, or solid color. You know, I mean that's another option to go. You know, and I'm even down for a straight up racing stripe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right down the middle of the hood. Yeah. So
old school.
Yeah, very old school. And but anyway, just all options. I want it to pop. I want it to be. You know, a lot of it is like we know whoever's going to get it's going to get an amazing truck that's very dependable. We got a 327. I know a lot of people's like, man, you need to put a bigger motor. I'm like, well, this motor's built, blueprinted. It was also a gift. So we're going to use it because and then we have a brand new transmission going with it behind it, an automatic, and it is going to be like a 450 horsepower motor. So it's not like it's going to be a dog. You know, it's
at least won't be slow.
I think it will be able to turn the tires, sir. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
We can get that right in the gearing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So, you know, I want it to be a drivable truck for anybody. So if a lady drive, you know, she wins it or something, you know, or 18-year-old kid, like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. A 400-something horsepower car can get away from the average person, you know, like
especially that light of truck.
The power ratio to weight is pretty good on that. You know, I think if we went with a 600-700 horsepower LS, we might be overdoing
Connor's
it.
Apache. Connor's 61. I mean, it rips, and it's maybe a 420-ish.
450 probably.
Right. I think it's plenty.
That light of machine, it's so drivable. It's such a nice little street machine. It's
I think what I liked about the 327, and Randy hit it on the head, was it's literally one wire to start it. And it's like real simple for the person who owns it to maintain it and stuff. You don't have to get into like something happens to the computer on it or something. Which I love the LS swaps. I'm not knocking that. It's just this is the first one we're doing, and we're trying to keep it.
Tune that thing with a screwdriver, baby.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You know,
we'll break them in slow. if we do anything going forward, we'll just break them in slow.
Ease them into that diesel power world is what we're going to do.
We'll ease them into the diesel stuff, but
we'll probably build like the next one's going to be like a 72 Maverick with like a 6.6 Duramax.
I don't hate it.
Some kind of like frog green.
Yes, sir.
Something like
lime green, peanut butter interior.
Something like that.
You got a man after my own heart right there.
Yeah.
Any high-vis colors.
I can't stand it. I love them.
Do you?
I like those.
I like the lime
in your
greens.
Face kind of colors.
Yeah, I do
really
too. I think on some stuff they look amazing. You know what I mean? So I like the greens, the real bright greens, and I like the yellows and stuff like that.
I like contrast, really, I guess, more than anything. And
Well, beauty's an eye beholder.
That's right,
Mr. Max. And you know, some people like it. Old pawpaw truck that looks like it just rolled off the showroom floor, blue on blue.
Yeah.
You know, original wheels, blue wheels. I mean, just the way they built them
That's
back
what
then.
makes this scene beautiful in my mind, though, because me and him, we don't fight, I guess. We don't just wrestle each other, but we do argue all the time. That looks like trash. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does.
And then somewhere you come up in the middle with a common...
We usually, something really good comes out of it, man.
And I did ask to be let in on ideas just because, you know, I don't want it to be too crazy.
No doubt.
And I think we talked about maybe
we're pretty open books. If you want to stop by the shop too,
we're gonna do. I already told him Randy's already bringing other projects.
I know. He's trying to. I guess you ruined his timing for him. He's trying to drop 3 C10s off there.
I did not ruin anything. That dude, I called him to let him know.
He's excited. I love it too.
And I was like, he's like, well, I'm trying to get this here and this there. And I'm like, you know, them guys are meeting me at like 4:00 today to film the show. And he's like, well, I got time. This is 12th. All right. Now, I know it's at least probably 45 minutes from his place to your place, and you still got to load this stuff.
Yeah.
Sir, you ain't going to have time to turn that around. But it ain't
We'll see you tomorrow, Randy.
Yeah,
we appreciate
we'll
you.
See you tomorrow, Randy.
We might have been on the phone 20 minutes, so I'm not going to take the blame on that one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take the blame.
He called me. I bet it was probably 2:30.
Yeah, right.
He's like, "What time are y'all
shutting down the shop?"
I'm like, "We're closing down now."
He probably drug it up and dropped it off. Who knows?
Probably.
Probably.
It wouldn't surprise me.
You got a big parking lot, so you got plenty of room for extra projects out there. So, although the idea, I mean, I'm with the cowl hood. I'm good with that. Like we talked about doing a cowl hood, possibly some louvers. I love louvers. It just depends on how in detail we want to get with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and how much, innovation, time,
and
budget.
like me and you had talked about before too, cowl hoods are just a love-hate relationship.
They are for people.
You either love them or you hate them.
Yeah,
there's really no in between.
I like them.
I think that cowl hood looks okay.
I like them. I think that it makes them just look a little bit sportier. I think it just gives them a little bit more.
It gives that more aggressive.
I think so. Yeah.
That fits our resto mod goal.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all good with it. Nothing too extreme.
Yeah. I think everything needs a cowl hood.
I don't know how you measure. I don't know how you measure them. Yeah. I don't know how you measure the hoods to say, all right, I want to. Is it a 1 inch, 2 inch? I don't know how that works. You probably got like a 6 inch on your Ford. I've seen it. It's big.
Yeah. I think it measures out to around 4.5 inches.
Yeah, something like that. Well, it's like a man. It's 4.5, 6. Yeah. So, but it looks good on your truck.
Yeah.
And I like them. I think I go back to the days because I grew up in a time where in the 80s with hot rods as high school days, everybody putting cowl hoods on Novas and Chevelles and Camaros, and they were usually faults, by the way. Like there was nothing that thing was doing other than just a look, like there's no
cowl hood and God help me, we got a race car.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you go in there, it's like a straight 6 in it or something.
With holes drilled in the caps.
Yeah, for sure.
Not even a set of Flowmasters, just holes in the cap.
No, and then like maybe flip over the air intake cap or something, give it a little different sound,
It probably goes back to them glass packs. I know that I'm kind of past when they actually had glass in it and they talk about running water up in the tailpipe and busting them.
Yeah, cherry bombs. Oh my God, man. We had a 78 Chevy 4-wheel drive. It was a Scottsdale edition and probably had like a 4-inch lift on it. This is my dad. This is in the late 80s. He bought it second-handed, but I guess we did it up, but it had a 400 in it, automatic. And I took off one time, and it had a set of cherry bombs on it. All right. So when you crank that thing up in the morning, dude, it was a lot of
neighborhood knows you're going to
man.
work.
Like I said, they hate him. I know they hate him. You know what I mean? And like, he was in his 40s, and I know he just grinned every time he would do that, and it was instant too. There wasn't no like pumping the pedal. And we lived up north at the time in Wyoming, so it was cold. And that dude, man, as soon as you hit it, it was just whoom, and it's like he let it warm up out there for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, man, I know everybody hates his ass right now, And so one day we were doing something and I had a date or something, and I was like, man, can I take your pickup tonight? Yeah, just be careful. Don't hot rod the thing, cause like it was straight up a hot rod, like just a 4-wheel drive. And anyway, I took off and we'd been loading some stuff in the backyard and they had it in 4-wheel drive low. I took off and didn't take it out. Dude, I am killing it. And all of a sudden I look in my mirror and my dad's racing up beside me in my mom's car. He's like, could you not tell that thing's in 4-wheel drive?
Lurching in the turns.
Oh, my God. And I'm like,
7,000 RPM.
Yes, and it sounded amazing. It sounded amazing. I was about ready to blow it up, probably.
That's so cool.
So, anyway, I just thought it sounds so amazing. I didn't get a chance to drive it a whole lot, to be honest with you. So
he's pulling up beside you and you're just hanging out the window. Like,
yes.
Sound good, don't it, boy?
Yeah, exactly. I was probably like 16, I think, at the time. Yeah. So he should have never let me took it. To be honest, that's probably what happened. There's no telling. I think one time I come back and there was some missing stuff, like, maybe like I think he had some like original, they weren't cool wheels. They were kind of like original and they had like the snap-on
simulators.
Yeah. He was missing one, because I probably took it through somebody's backyard or something,
just like, the right pothole and it passed you going down the road.
Yeah. He was pretty hot about it,
But he was messing with the radio.
Every single morning on the weekends, he would kick my door open my bedroom, like at 8:00 or something, and I'm trying to sleep till noon, where in the hell did you go last night? The whole undercarriage of your car is just full of mud. You know?
Honestly.
Yeah, I had like a Camaro T-top. You know, it was a late 70s model and stuff. Oh, yeah, man, if it would go, it's going. You know what I mean? Like, as long as I was getting traction. So anyway, I lived in a very snowy area, and I always had rear-wheel drives cars. Like that was I didn't like a truck. I was into that kind of car. Camaros.
Slide them around a little bit.
Super Sport Monte Carlos. Oh yeah, fishtailing was my game, especially when it's snowy and icy. I mean, you can do a lot of that. So you don't have to have a lot of horsepower.
Before you play ditch to ditch. That's the lane.
Yeah, for sure. So, but and I've gotten away from that, and I haven't been in the car culture at all for the last 30 years. You know, like I've been busy in life trying to build a family, and so I'm getting reintroduced here quickly.
Awesome. And, well, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. And unfortunately, I don't know if I have the capacity or the pocket to hang. You know, like I'm like, this is an expensive culture. Like, it does. It costs a lot of money.
We'll drag him around some shows.
But I think I'm going to have to. We're definitely going to be doing some of that because we're going to be selling tickets. We're going to be, doing all that stuff as it goes up. Matter of fact, I want to mention that we've ordered the raffle tickets. So, if you guys want to reach out to it, I'll post the contact for that. I'm not going to tell them my number. I did that last time, and I'm like, there's no way with all that I got going on, I can take that many calls. Now, for people I know, but like if somebody reaches this and they're like, I heard you're selling raffle tickets. I mean,
it gets out of hand quick.
It can, and I hope it does. I really do. Like, we'll give y'all some. We'll, we'll just have it around. But, we got to organize this right. We're going to start selling tickets. Yes, the giveaway is not till October, but the point is to build traction for the program. The truck is more of a showpiece to say, hey, this is going on. Well, what is Feed My Lambs? That's kind of what our goal is kind of advertise for the show and then really put a huge impact to the bottom line for them to get them over the top for the year, because the budget's ever growing for them too. Like their cost is going up on food every day. It's the same thing. Yeah. I mean, I go in there, I make a decent living, but like, I'm still like, what the hell? Eggs are $7? Like, I was shocked by that.
You make a life decision in Walmart.
Yes. Used to be at the pump. That ain't the problem no more.
Yeah, the pump ain't no problem.
I think we're just callous to the pump, I think.
Yeah, but it ain't that bad no more. Like, now it's the food, man, is an issue. Like, I don't get it. It just keeps going up. Like, every day. The more they talk about it needs to come down, the more it goes up. It's like
the resto modded C10 will be a heck of an icebreaker.
I think so.
That'll be awesome.
I think we'll be able to make it. And
he's a C10 fanatic anyway, so this is like
so is Randy. I like him. I mean, and everybody I know's got one. Like the Kenny Boos, the Daniel Perry, they all got nice ones. Like, I don't know if Ricky's got one. Does he have one?
He's got.
I don't think he's got one.
Yeah, surprises him.
He kind of steers away from him. He's more of a K5 Blazer.
Is he guy? Yeah, those are my favorite, by the way. Like I would say all the way up. I had the last one I had was a '95 GMC Yukon 2-door.
Oh yeah.
And
mud machine.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
Bro, I didn't even know what I had when I had it. You know what I mean? I got it pretty new.
We're trying to rile Connor out. I'm gonna call him out a little bit. Maybe he'll hear this. He's got a Ram Charger we're trying to build.
That's a bad one too.
Yeah, it's purple. He wants to put a Cummins in it.
Oh yeah,
a little diesel swap. So I think that'd be
I think
ripping little machine.
Going forward too, like when we finish this build and get an auction off, we may start one between now and then when we give it away. Like once we get this one built, there's probably another project going to be laid on y'all's doorstep to get done. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but Randy and I have some ideas about other needy programs that we want to get involved with. But we're not really stuck on C10s. So
cool.
It's just one of those things where he knows them. They're pretty simple to work on.
Pretty iconic car. I mean,
it's a very iconic,
very iconic car.
But if we come up with a vehicle, I mean, it could be a Jeep. It could be anything. It could be.
If it's got 4 wheels and a motor, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's right.
It don't take much.
Oh, man.
So that's why we're saying we don't know if it's going to be a car, a truck, or Jeep, or whatever. Like I'm not
61 Lincoln.
Well, yeah. I think we need to stick with probably what's
That's my dream. I'm just shouting that out.
Yeah. Well, you can't win the car if you work on it, to be clear, just so you know. Man. There's some rules in this, by the way.
Enough.
There's some rules. I have to mention my friend Melissa DeBar. She's a local attorney. She's helping me trying to get the language right on this, because there is some things, to make sure we are in the parameters of stuff. I don't want to get anybody questioning what we're doing, but the legalities are, I don't think if anybody's involved with the program on any level can win the truck, So
I just like seeing it and say I built it. That means more to me.
Well, it's just like the guy donated, or he didn't donate it, but we kind of got the thing for a song and a dance, and initially, he was hardcore with his price. And after I talked to him and I guess it soaked in for a couple hours. Randy got down there, and he was real hardcore with Randy on the phone too. And he just like, man, I think I'll do it for this. And Randy's like, are you sure? You know? He said, well, I know what you're going to do with it. So I think the guy, Ricky's his name. I can't remember his last name now. I'd have to go back and look, but he'll be excited. I told him, I said, we'll show you the truck when we get done. You'll know that you help with this.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, because once we pull it in the shop, it's going to look like a bomb went off.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be a truck within a couple of hours.
It'll be like a frame, you know, and then that's going to be worked on, you know, and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting I'm really interested to see how y'all catalog it, you know, going through. Then we'll post pictures of it as we go.
We got some GoPros we'll set up.
Yeah, we got some GoPros. We'll do a teardown video.
Yeah.
Because we're working on video and stuff. We get distracted, and usually both hands wind up on what we're working on.
Yeah, and you still got to make money for the shop. So, like, you got to stay focused on a little bit of what you're doing for the daily needs, right?
Right.
So, yeah. I noticed you got some other guys around there. Is it just kind of like buddies that you incorporated into the group to help you?
Yeah, so
we got one employee.
We got one full-time
right now.
employee. Got another one supposed to start Monday of next week.
So you're growing.
Yeah,
yes,
we're growing. Other than that, we try to help some guys out, you know.
Yeah.
During the wintertime, they're all in the dirt business.
Oh, yeah. Just like me.
Everything's wet and
slow.
muddy. And
yeah.
We need an extra set of hands, so we put them to work.
And at very minimum, you know, they can change oil and do that kind of stuff, right? Kind of just help you through the day, you know. Y'all can focus more on the important things like our Feed My Lambs truck.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, I see it being an opportunity for us to have some creativity, build different stuff. Like, I don't just want to build the trucks, but like maybe we find something cool like a mid 80s K5 or even an early 70s like Blazer or something.
Well, back to what you were saying with putting a 327 in it. You know, everybody's LS swapping everything. So let's go back the other direction.
I love the manual
he
motors.
makes fun of me all the time. I'm a mechanical nut. I mean, I love mechanical stuff. So
I do too. Like in my business, everybody's got brand new dump trucks and all that stuff. Yeah. I don't. I got an old mechanical motor with an old truck I rebuilt literally from one end to the other, you know, and it's got all manual. It's all new.
It just don't ask questions.
Yeah. It just don't check up. Like it just don't, you know. So I can go out there and it's set up on a 2-battery system too, which most trucks, you know, take 3 to 4.
Yeah.
I can hit that switch, man. It's like it could be really cold and it's just boom, you know, like it's ready. So I had a buddy of mine, he works on a lot of Ricky and them stuff too, but he built it and he's like, man, you may have the best motor in the game for manuals because it's just simple, you know. Yeah. So, and I could do better and newer, but I don't want to, you know. So
well, it always blows my mind. We'll get like a V12 valve in the shop or one of them P-pump 12 valve motors on an older Dodge, and they start faster than my 2015 Power Stroke.
Oh, yeah.
If those things have fuel and 12 volts.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what I'm saying. I can just hit the switch and it's
2 revolutions.
You know,
maybe.
Snap your fingers. And
it's amazing because you got to realize what it takes to turn that, man. Yeah. Like it is unbelievable. So I just take it for granted, I think, a lot of times, you know.
That's why I'm such a diesel fanatic. I think torque is...
Oh, it's where it's at.
Torque. Man. I love the torque.
Absolutely.
So you know what they say.
What's that?
Horsepower is how fast you hit the wall. Torque's how far you take it with you.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. That makes good sense. Torque's a beast, man. Like people don't understand the horsepower is not relevant. Like when people say that, that's how they rate everything. But the torque is really where the power comes from. You know,
that's what gets everything in motion.
Well, it keeps it moving.
Feeling too. Yeah, it's a whole different.
Oh yeah, man. If you ever get behind something with like 1,750 pounds of torque or something, you don't even understand what that is. You know, like for instance, let's say you got a 500 horsepower diesel motor in your pickup truck. It's not the same as the 500 horsepower diesel motor in my dump truck. No. Not even close. No. Torque ratios are way different. You would be lucky to grab 1,000 if you built yours to the point of where, I guess, I'm assuming, you know, I don't know what ranges they're in now, but most pickups are equal to horsepower on their torques.
Yeah.
They're a little higher.
I would say most of the diesel stuff kind of across the board, whether it's Duramax, Power Stroke, or Cummins, they're all chasing that 1,000 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, but that's the chasing. That's the point. It's chasing it. They're trying to get there.
They're closer than you think.
I think Cummins is the only one. They're at like 997 or something on the 25 models.
But you're not coming out with a 1,600 or 1,850 torque.
No.
Not from the
factory. Not until you start building stuff.
Right. So you got a motor like a 6-cylinder 450 horsepower Cummins engine that's got 1,850 foot-pounds of torque. That's a whole different monster. So people can't say, well, I can pull that truck out. No, you cannot. It's a different kind of torque. The rear end's as big as your motor. That's the biggest, that's the difference in them. It's just the size of the gears and stuff, and the torque ratios from the transmissions to the drive lines. I mean, that's what makes them heavy duty trucks, that's where it's at. So on occasion you'll see some wild video of a guy pulling a truck out of a ditch with a 3/4 ton or something. He wasn't that stuck. He just got it moving. You know what I mean?
There's some 3/4 tons that rock your world, though.
I know they do, but I'm just talking about
wild machines.
I'm just talking about weight wise, like what you got to have to make that stuff move.
Yeah. So one of the shows we try to go to, it's called UCC, stands for Ultimate Call Out Challenge. They hold it in at Indianapolis Motorsports Park every year. And those guys are chasing 3,000 plus horsepower and torque
on pickups.
In pickup trucks.
I'd like to see the drive lines on these things, man.
Oh, they're beefy.
They got to be. They got to be. Yeah, so I know what
show he's talking about. They do 3 events.
Oh, wow, man.
Yeah, they sled pull, drag, and dyno pull.
Yeah, so you guys are
in the same truck.
Right.
So
golly. So they say it'll be just an all-around truck. Yeah, like it's got to be able to do everything.
If you ain't making 2,000 horsepower, don't show up.
Oh, it's like Clyde Bynum over at Spider Off-Road. We were talking about how you guys were watching some of his stuff, and I know you don't know him, but I do, and I've watched how they've come from that. And we were, started off with like, I guess probably the most popular stuff they have from a standpoint of entry level is like the side-by-side stuff, the UTVs or what they call them. Right. And but now the real cool stuff is those crazy rock crawlers they built.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, they're into like 1,500, 2,000 horsepower. He's like, it's insane. Like there's no limits. Like whatever you can build, if you can get it inside that cage, you can run it.
Yeah.
So that's where it's never ending. Like somebody's coming up with something new, innovation wise, to make it, produce it. You got to build some kind of axle to hold it.
And it's kind of cool, like how the generations and stuff play out. Because I can remember being like 13, 14 years old and, seeing Silver Star. I think that's the name of his other shop, building mini trucks. And then I was like, man, Spider Off-Road, they're building some cool stuff up there. And I just never met those guys.
Yeah.
But,
well, you're going to meet them now. I'll tell you up there.
Absolutely.
So,
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah, they're good guys. And another family dynamic that's pretty cool. And but that's one of those things I was talking about, how there's these different levels, like to get people started. And even he, as the owner, said financially it outpaced him to where he couldn't even keep up with his own kid wanting to be involved because it just got so expensive, because it becomes so unlimited. You were talking about these trucks showing up. If you ain't got 2,000 horsepower, there ain't no point in you showing up. Well, it probably started out with a couple of guys in their backyard with a couple of pickup 4-wheel drive trucks,
exactly.
And
probably,
a nitrous bottle, like
right, with like 600 horsepower big blocks or something, and now it's evolved into probably like, I bet the motors are probably $50,000. You know what I mean?
No
like, or more. Who knows?
Or more.
And then you got to figure. So it just outgrows the people who set it off, And so Clyde's point of view was like, well, it's my game. I guess I'll just figure out how to like video it and get it out there and make it more popular. And that's what he's doing. So the National Rock Racing Series.
And between Clyde and Ronnie, back to that kind of generational thing, I looked up to those guys growing up.
Yeah.
And then now we're getting to work with them. And, it's pretty cool how it makes a full circle.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be great. And I know none of any of it. You know what I mean? Like I just happen to know these folks. Like I don't really have any hobbies. What I do is kind of like help people. That's kind of what I'm trying to do all the time. And so I'm getting introduced to things on a regular. And I think it's cool. Like I love looking at all of it. Do I want one? No, because now I got to take care of it. And I don't want that. Yeah. So I just want to look at it, admire it, and tell you how amazing it is. That's all I want to do. So,
see, now you got buddies. If you beat on one, we can fix it for you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. My wife, I don't know if she'll tolerate it.
Oh, yeah. You can talk them into it. Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mine knows that, that 8 to 5, I'm going to be working on cars. And that 5 to midnight, I'm going to be working on cars.
Your own cars.
On the weekend.
Your own cars. Yeah. I talked to you Saturday, maybe, and I think you were working on your own car at home. So, yeah. Now, personal vehicles, what do y'all choose? Like, what's your thing?
I'm gonna say I'm probably a Ford fan more than anything. Mustangs. I drive a 2015 F250. It is 4-wheel drive. I did lower it. it blows people's mind.
That you lowered it
that I lowered a 4-wheel drive.
That's not unheard of, but I get it. That's your personal taste.
It does hurt people's head when they see it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I love it. I think it's cool.
I think it's cool. What's your you got it all tuned up?
Oh yeah. It runs pretty good.
Yeah. What's the specs, man?
It's user friendly.
Yeah, it's super user friendly.
Yeah. Like your wife could drive it to Walmart.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. I think the best it's done so far is 560 wheel horsepower.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's flirting with 7 at the crank, but that's getting into, we're finna have to do major motor work to get past it.
Yeah.
And maybe some driveline work.
Absolutely.
You may have to beef that up too.
I think it was around 550 wheel horsepower and almost 1,100 foot-pounds of torque.
Now, is that like a aftermarket turbo?
I'm still on
stock turbo. Yeah, see. So
stock air, bigger fuel.
Yeah.
Piping kit.
Right. So you know,
kind of let them things breathe, man.
It's a simple little build, but it's very user friendly.
Yeah. What about you, Max? What you got? What you like to ride?
My daily is currently broke down.
Oh.
But it is
Well, it's just like in any game, like whatever your profession is, you're not working on your own stuff usually. Like
it's hard to fit
a
those
plumber's
in
pipes are
sometimes.
busted, a mechanic's car's broke down.
Beauty of it is I got my chauffeur over here.
That's right.
You
You
know,
just
he
ride
comes
everywhere.
and picks me up for work.
So what is your daily driver?
I got a Cowboy Cadillac. It is a 02 Cummins, second gen, 6-speed, 24 valve machine.
Yeah,
Just
dependable.
old street tractor.
Now
Yeah,
you're talking crap about the most dependable Cummins ever, apparently. Yeah.
I love that truck.
What'd
man.
you do to it?
So I run that thing is what I do to it. It is. I bought it with 130,000 miles when I was 16 years old. First truck I ever bought.
Oh, wow. Still got it.
Yeah, still got it. It was tuned then. I ended up pulling all that stuff off because I ran it too hard and tore too much stuff up. But
Don't say.
It's got a welding rig bed on it that I built.
Yeah.
Full custom. Got all my tools on it. We chase loggers sometimes. Do a lot of field welds and stuff like that. So that thing gets sent through the woods hard, and it is just taking abuse from me and
Whoever.
never asks no questions. Yeah, he takes it out too.
Yeah,
I
so
bought
you
it
guys,
with 130 and it's got 360 on it now.
Yeah, you put some miles on it,
Yeah.
though. But that goes back to what we're talking about. You guys are pretty multi-talented, like you're doing everything. You know, it's something I want to talk about. That you mentioned that you do the welding and the fabrication and stuff like that, but you also can go out in the field and help people get their equipment back going.
Yep.
Either mechanical or it could be a piece that needs to be welded back, like a spring. I mean, who knows?
We do
And
run field
equipment.
calls on more of the construction side equipment. We don't do much ag.
Yeah,
we
or
stay away from
cars,
that.
personal
No,
cars.
we don't
No.
do personal cars. No.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Cars, you better haul them to the shop.
Yeah, it gets a little bit. I mean, y'all like the big stuff, clearly.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
so,
sir. That's been most of the background for either of us. He's an equipment tech. I was fab on most of the pipeline sites, but we ended up working on equipment
Gotcha.
and stuff too.
So you working with Ronnie down there at Ronnie's Hotrods, what was your primary job? Like, were you on the body side or were you on the electrical side?
I was in assembly.
Okay.
Kind of working with his son, Casey.
Gotcha.
Really absorbing a lot of knowledge.
Getting the panels
He's,
right, getting all the gaps right.
More or less all the mechanical stuff,
Yeah.
motor transmission,
Okay.
brakes, stuff like that.
Gotcha. So, and you're more the body man, fabrication guy.
metal. Yeah, you give me metal.
Yeah,
You
that's where
dream
you
it
like
and it's metal. I can do it.
So you were real clear when I called you originally. Like, I do everything but the paint. That's what he said.
Yeah, we don't paint.
And then we got the guys that paint. We just don't paint in our shop.
We got buddies.
Yeah, we got a lot of buddies.
We don't do paint, and I haven't figured out how to sew yet.
Yeah. I think if you're doing,
Interior's kind of a problem.
yeah. So the
coming.
interior, yeah, absolutely. So if you can get those things down, man, you are a one-stop shop for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to flirt with it.
There's
but-
not many shops that do A to Z like that. Very few.
Right.
Does Ronnie and them do all that? Like the interior?
Absolutely.
They do the
they're-
interior themselves and everything.
I think they do a lot of interior themselves.
Yeah.
They got some other guys, too, that do some real wild
Yeah.
custom stuff.
Yeah, I think we got to figure out on this truck too, like when we talked about that, whether we're going to do like some newer seats, kind of dress it up with some nice buckets, like a good console, just kind of where it's a nice cruiser, get away from the pop-off seats and stuff like that. I think people know what I mean when I say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Old
the old
bench
seat,
unit.
yeah. I've seen a couple and I'm like, that's cool, but I think like getting them up to date, like a nice, comfortable, well-cushioned seat with nice leather, that's going to be nice. That's going to look trick, I think. It's
Yeah,
gonna really
absolutely.
look- yeah. And I know the people can do that. So we're going to work on that as we go as well. And guys, we're just hoping. I mean, I don't know what colors, but like get back to the color scheme. The baby blue I'm still with, or whatever you call it, the matte blue. I like
blue.
it. I like it. Again, post a picture right here, Derek. Okay. Good. So if y'all can envision any color other than blue, we want to hear about it. So if you see the episode, put it in the comments. Like we're willing to go with anything. If it's maroon, that's cool. Green, it's cool. Silver, we'll figure out something, But I just want to be.
Just don't let that guy go high vis. Then we should be.
I'll keep my high vis.
What kind of colors high vis? Like, what would you?
My whole Snap-on tool set's high vis yellow. So
we talked about yellow. One of the coolest trucks. I was telling Randy that this morning.
It can't just be that like mustard yellow though.
No.
It's got to be like a little
Easter
deeper.
egg.
Yeah,
it's got to be like an Easter
egg. Neon kind of.
Yeah, almost neon.
What'd Jesse James say?
Yeah,
it's the international color for chicken.
Yeah, no mustard yellow. No.
So the one of the coolest things I ever was around. I was about 16. We had the neighbor had a 72 Blazer. Okay. I just moved in, didn't know him real well. And he was about my dad's age. But at the time, though, he was off work for some reason. I was just going over, and he was rebuilding the motor in it. He had like a 350 or something in it, and I was watching him rebuild it. Was just listening to some David Allen Coe,
America.
All that stuff. And so it was a real memorable time for a couple of weeks,
awesome.
But it was Easter egg yellow with a white top.
Yeah.
And they would take it off. We were in Wyoming, of all places, by the way. So there's only a couple of months a year you can ride around like that,
3.
Right. But this thing would absolutely go anywhere. And it wasn't like all jacked up. It was just like a stock level truck, But where others couldn't go, that thing
crawl right through it.
Crawl right through it. I think it just had the perfect clearance, whatever wheelbase. It was just the perfect setup. So the K5s and the Blazers were definitely the two-wheel drives. The ones I was telling you about I had, that thing would go anywhere too. They just kept that exact wheel length on them, through the years. And I think the same way with the Ram Chargers, the Broncos, they all had that same little setup. Does it, obviously we didn't know at the time looking forward because everything started graduating to 4 doors. And that was a new thing, right? Because like the Tahoes with 4 doors, you either had this gigantic party wagon of a Suburban.
Yeah.
Or you had.
Pop complains about that all the time. It's like, nothing's 2-door no more.
Right. So going back to it, I had babies, trying to throw them in the back of a 2-door. It was not good. Like, you got to be young. So I had to graduate from that. I think I lost it and, not lost it, but traded it off in 2005. Had it a long time. And when I pulled up, man, the guy at the dealership was like, he ran up to me because it was black, had a great gloss finish, had the black fender wells. It was a Yukon, so it had everything on it. And he runs up to my door. I'll never forget, it's Jimmy Gray Chevrolet up there. And he runs up and I'm like, dude, I'm like, give me a second to look. And he's like, no. What are you going to do with this thing? And I didn't know at the time, like, that they were so highly sought after, know?
Can I have it?
Yeah. He's like, what are you going to do with it? Trade it in? I'm like, man, I don't even know. I'm just looking, but I didn't know. And he started calling out numbers. I'll give you this for it right now. And I'm like,
right now?
Yes. Like,
I need it.
So he worked there, man. He was like a salesman, but he knew what I had. I didn't even know what I had. I was just thinking, shit, man, this thing's 10 years old, It still looked great though. But I was trying to save gas. And that dude still had the, all the manual stuff. I had like a little bit of electronic on the 4-barrel, but it was still 350, and it drank some gas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
7-8 miles of the gallon.
Maybe a little better than that probably, but it wasn't much, and
that's because your kids will not remember when you got 35 miles to the gallon.
No.
That's cool.
But
miles per gallon, baby.
I was just trying to make a living, man, and let me tell you, that gas was eating me up in that thing, and I was just like, oh, I got to do something different, and I couldn't see the future with it. I should have kept it. I really should have kept it. Looking back on it, I'd love to have kept it, but just time, I'm sure everybody's got that story of a car they wish they'd held on to. I got 2 or 3, by the way, that I wished I'd have held on to. So, and I'm sure somebody's enjoying them today, and they probably rebuilt them because they were all those kind of cars, like that they could have rebuilt. Nothing really expensive though. I didn't have like a 63 Stingray or nothing, I didn't have nothing like that or any kind of like big name car, but I had some Camaros that were worthy, and then Super Sport Monte Carlo. I had one of those. It was like an 85 with a 350 from the factory because that's not a common. It was a demo model, so they came with 305s from the factory. But the demo models at the Chevrolet place, I don't know if y'all remember that, they had demo vehicles and they'd come with every option.
Yeah.
So you had a special order of the 350. Well, this was their demo car that they sold after that year's whatever, and I bought it secondhanded from somebody.
I'm pretty sure that 89 F-150 that Tad's got was a demo.
Could have been, yeah, because they come with just like all the options.
So my granddad bought it and gave it to him when he was a getting married to my mom, and then I drove it for my first truck when I was 16.
There you go.
Yeah, she's still bopping around.
Yeah. Kind of cool stuff, and then like the Blazer or the Yukon. I didn't know it was special. I didn't know that was like one of the last years they're ever going to make it. You know what I mean? Like that was it was a 95 model. So I'm guessing that was probably one of the last couple of years. I don't know the details, but I think
I think it's right through there.
Yeah. But it was black with maroon interior. It was and it had a great sound system. Had the windows all blacked out, chrome bumpers, and black fender wells. It was a pretty cool looking truck.
We talk about it all the time on them old Chevrolet trucks. They just stuck with one color. I had a 95 Z71, and the whole inside of the truck is blue. Carpet's blue, headliner's blue, seats are blue,
sure.
dash is blue.
Yeah, absolutely. And then like they got away from it a little bit through the mid-90s. They started giving it like a contrast, like the maroon with the black paint. Or if you got a red truck, it may have some gray interior or something,
Yeah, but whatever color the inside of it was, that's what color the inside was.
It typically was, like blue carpet, blue seats, blue door panels. I mean, they went with it all. Not that it was a great car, but my grandparents in 1980 bought a Ford Fairmount.
Oh, yeah.
Blue, baby blue. Blue interior, baby blue. Like everything on it was baby blue, man. It was the most sickening thing ever. Like
blue on blue on blue.
But it was not a good blue. You know what I mean? Like it was like the worst blue. Gutless. I mean, it was just a horrible car. I don't even know how they got away with selling those things, man, honestly. And but anyway, that's true about a lot of the cars and stuff from those days. They were you just see the era, of like the same color inside and out. It was just one bit, and maybe that was the trend back then. We did have shag carpet too back in those days.
Yeah, I love those.
That was a little before y'all's time.
The velour seats, those are my favorite.
I think Connor had a Lincoln.
Oh yeah.
Here recently, he was posting on Facebook, and I'm like, dude, that is a pimp car.
I think it was sweet.
I can remember when those things came out. Everybody was like, you either got it when it was completely wore out, like somebody had just ragged it out, or if you had one, you were rich, like a brand new one, So
I told him, I was like,
luxury
man, I
vehicle.
daily drive it.
I was a party wagon, man.
Oh, no doubt.
That or a complete Chevy conversion van or 40 Econoline van or something like that. So
yeah, we got some fun ones in our fleet. He's got a little Jeep. We're gonna LS, make a little mud crawler out of it. Really cool one. We're gonna rest him out a Duramax chassis, so 15 Duramax powertrain,
everything,
chassis, driveline, all that onto a 37 Chevrolet.
They got the Allison transmission.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can't beat those, man.
And we're gonna put a 37 Chevrolet cab and flatbed on it.
Wow, so just like a completely over the top.
We're thinking older look with like just your creature comforts,
Sure, sure.
A little mesh of technology and mechanical.
Absolutely. That's kind of what I was looking for on this truck. That we're building is kind of like just make it a little more comfortable for the average person. I'm not gonna lie to you. I already drive an old truck with no creature comforts like in my work life.
Yeah.
And I don't even really need a lot of that. But I think if I had something like that, I would really want just maybe a little softer seat. Like hugs me in the hips a little. Like
just hold you.
Yeah, just hold me a little bit. Yeah, and just a little bit of upgrade. There's been some advances in the last 60 years, which is kind of what the truck's age will close to being. It's like 58 years old.
That's what we're kind of trying to hit with a 37, just a really clean interior.
Yeah.
You have all your creature comforts.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, we can do a tan or a black. I don't care. I guess we'll decide that when we get to it, but one of those two colors. I don't want nothing too crazy. Yeah, saddle. Yeah. Well,
raw leather.
I can see you being a wax type man, like, with your mustache and beard growing skills. So you're in there like wiping down the seats and some kind of like real beeswax, something leather or something. Yeah. So
I think I'm finna lose this battle with my facial hair though. My wife's ready for me to cut the winter off my face. She keeps saying.
Really? That suits you, man.
I'm gonna keep the mustache. I think for as long as I can.
Get some handlebars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a little beeswax.
Them up a little bit.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's like an image, man. Like people just know you.
Doc Holliday's my hero, so.
Yeah, even better. But anyway, guys, anything else y'all want to add today? Like we could have a conversation. We'll have you back too as we build this thing. This was just like an intro. I wanted to let everybody know who we had involved and what we were doing and promote your guys' business a little bit since you're going to be helping us as well and let people know where they can find you and what kind of stuff you do and buy your, what'd you call it?
On what?
Your merch.
The merch.
Yeah.
Merch.
Do y'all do hats?
Yes, sir.
We do.
Gotcha.
They look like this, and we got some of the Richardson 112s.
I guess I didn't notice. Sorry, man.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to keep it simple, clean.
I would like something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Little
like
soft caps. We're about to
soft
make
caps.
another order, so I think we're going to try to explore a little
If you
bit
give me
more.
one, I'll wear it everywhere. I'll wear it on this show every time.
I love it. Yeah, we can make that happen.
I had to change the oil in my hat on the way up here. That's why I ended up with this other hat on. So
Merch isn't real safe around us. It's going to have shop stains all over it really quick.
You know, I find that I kind of I like the Carhartt hats because, one, that they're warm. You know, as you get older, you lose more hair, you know, and they're soft. I like the soft hats. You know, I don't know what you call these, trucker hats or whatever. Yeah. That was a thing for my grandpa, you know, and now it's come back around. So I just stick with the old ball caps, you know? Yeah. And they're hard to find sometimes, but I do too. I get the greasy fingers, you know, I'm always picking them up and stuff. So I get what you're saying. Like, you can destroy a hat in a hurry or a shirt or anything. So, yeah. And if you're wearing it too for your job, it's going to get done in. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, guys, go visit these guys, give them some love, buy some merch. They are just, I mean, you've been going for a while, but you're relatively a new shop.
Yes, sir.
You know,
well, we just moved in our new location now, downtown Strayhorn.
Yeah, give people the address on that.
175 Blue Goose Road, Sarah, Mississippi.
Look for the gold elephants out front. You can't miss them.
Yeah. By the way, I told these guys I was down there last week, and I recognized them. From the Grand Casino. That's where they came from.
We try to recycle everything.
I used to work down there like years and years ago, like
That's
20
crazy,
plus years ago. Yeah, I remember where those were at. So, and I looked out there and I'm like, those look very familiar.
Did you get to high five them when they was at the casino?
I did. Not at the casino, but I did the other day when I left your shop, because that was like that was how we got
to show them some love.
That was our handshake deal. Yeah, that we agreed to do the build with.
I hope they're not gold for long. We got to get rid of that gaudy gold, though.
And them things have been gold for 30 years. I don't think you can get away with them. They're going to be there. I think it's.
I was thinking a cowboy hat and like red and black or something. Maybe some bandana.
Yeah, get something on them. Look kind of cool. But
we'll modify one.
Yeah, we got
one.
Yeah, stock's not an option. Remember?
And then you got to name them.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Dumb and Bo. How about?
We'll let people come up with names for the elephants.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Shop address, they got it. Phone number.
662-292-7162.
Gotcha. And then we're going to revisit on all the media stuff. Social media is pretty much Outlaw Intentions.
Yep. Yeah, besides TikTok is Outlaw_Intentions.
Would you say that's pretty much your best platform, TikTok?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it seems like
followed by Facebook.
Yeah, right. So like people just TikTok, man, that's like the thing. They almost destroyed the country when they took that down.
I'm telling you, everybody fighting.
People were like, what am I going to do with my life? Yeah.
Straight debacle.
Oh my God, man. And it doesn't matter how old you are. Like, I mean, there's people, I mean, obviously I don't think of myself as old, but I'm old compared to y'all, right? But I love TikTok, you know? Yeah. And my poor mother passed away. She was always on TikTok. I was like, I mean, I just didn't think it was, it doesn't really.
It's the short videos.
It's the short videos. It's the wild variety of the algorithm. Like, 1 minute I'm looking at motors and custom cars. Next minute, Hot Babe shows up. And then, by the way.
There's other stuff besides cars on TikTok?
Yeah, mine's turbos and diesels.
Turbos, diesels, and hot rods.
And mine's animal voiceovers.
Yeah, I get a few of
those. I love those, bro. Like, if they're talking like they're over, oh my God, man, I'm just telling you, like, tickles me to death. Everybody thinks I'm strange. I'll be sending it to my wife. She's like, why are you sending me that
he makes fun of me. I send it to him all the time.
I love them, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're messing up my feed.
Messing up my algorithm completely. So, yeah.
I ruin his For You page every chance I get.
Yeah, and your wife's like, why are you looking at girls in bikini? Because Max sent them to me, and now I can't get them off my page.
Max's fault.
Yes, that's right.
Old beer posters.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think that, giving you guys some support, we want to help y'all build your business as well. So going forward, like if you guys have a project in mind, watch what we're doing, see how this is progressing, follow their pages, and you can see the work they're doing. Obviously, this is going to be something everybody's got eyes on, so they know they got to do it to the top. So
I love pressure.
Yeah, and our truck, it ain't the best truck in the world, but it's doable. But I mean, there's a lot of work that's got to be done.
It's got good bones. That's
she's all there, baby.
But I mean, the metal work, as you said, the quarter panels, all that stuff. I'm sure that's got to be cut off and redone.
Cancer spots. It's really not that bad
on all those old trucks. I mean, they're almost 60 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say they almost belong in a museum these days.
Yeah, they do. They do.
People just like me and him just got enough hard-headedness enough to bring them back to life. And
I think there's a lot of interest, like you and him. But I don't know if there's a lot of like, let's step out here and like bet our careers on this. Like let's start a shop and just do this for a living. I'm sure your wives were both like, what are you doing?
They're still that way.
Yeah, you're gonna do what? Put our whole life in jeopardy over this?
It's worth it.
Yeah,
they walk in on us all the time. I have a torch running and cab up, and he's doing something over there. Like, what are y'all doing? We're like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll
just put it back together tomorrow. You're fine.
I know it looks a wreck right now, but it's gonna be together.
Yeah.
So far, everything I've seen that y'all were involved with down there, you had some cool custom rides down there, and I don't know if you built them all or if you're just working on other people's stuff and trying to help improve upon them. A little bit of all that.
Pretty healthy mixture of both.
I was about to say healthy mixture of both.
Yeah, and then this one is going to be a true blue Outlaw Intentions build. You're going to brand it. We want you to brand it. We want you to. I think that's a good word to use somewhere in the bed.
Little Manito Bandito on there. Yeah.
I think that we need to burn it into the wood in the bed.
That'd be cool. It's exactly what we did on the fire truck.
Did you do that?
Yeah, he didn't varnish over it quick enough where he did his burnouts on it, so it's hard to see. But
yeah. When we say fire truck, guys, this is not like explain it a little bit.
So it is a 87 Ford 8000 fire truck.
Yeah,
cab over
that we yanked the bed off of and built a custom 22-foot ramp deck on the back of it.
Yeah,
all of
stainless.
Apache.
Looks really good. I've seen it, and y'all's is 61 Chief on it, or whatever they call it. Apache.
61 Chevy
Look what
Apache.
I know. Look what I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chief's another vehicle. I don't know. Maybe that's a Ford Chief Dun or something like that. Yeah. But it is a cool car, cool truck, and I've seen pictures of it hauling, and it gets looks everywhere because it's so unique
it's a
looking.
Showstopper.
Yeah. And the guys are working now. The inside was already cool, but he's wanting to do it again.
Yeah, we're done full
clean up on the interior for sure.
And it's like I was in there one day and I was watching TikToks and like some guy and his kids were up in it riding around.
Oh, yeah.
like the kids.
Connor's all about the show. Kin involvement and show. And the stainless. You can take expo markers and sign the side of it.
I seen that too. That was pretty cool.
They wipe off. So
yeah, because y'all were going to paint it and then you left it. Like at one show, you went stainless.
Well, we'd kind of run out of time.
Yeah.
So
we built the thing in 20 days.
Right.
We'd built it for scraping the coast.
Scraping.
And we kind of run out of time. It was originally supposed to be painted.
Yeah.
And we was joking around because we had put our checklist on the side of the bed with an expo marker.
Right.
And he'd finish something up, we'd wipe it off.
Right.
I'd finish something up, wipe it off. We're just banging out our checklist.
Right.
And I was like, man, it'd be pretty cool if you let people sign this thing. And Connor was like, are you sure? I was like, it's going to paint when we get back anyway, so it's not going to affect anything.
Right. Oh, it's polished. Yeah,
it's
nice.
a brushed stainless.
Yeah.
And after that first show, he come home and he was like, I am not painting this thing.
I think it looks great.
I'm gonna let
everybody tagged it up and
that's a thing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a fun little truck.
Just something you wouldn't have thought of. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean.
I've never. Me and him talked about it. I was like, man, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, I don't either. Like too many people customize. You see a lot of bus conversions, like people because they're readily available. Like you can get a bus anywhere, but it's hard to get a fire truck that's in good working order. Like
you'd be surprised, actually.
No, there are some. Huh?
Actually.
Well, a lot of times the places keep them.
I was going to say you might not find them before Connor. But
yeah, it's true. It's like now he's got his little passion for it. But I mean, most of the time you see them, they're like donated to like the local shrine club or something, to kind of do for parades and whatnot. And they keep them maintained, or the old fire trucks, they keep them in house, just kind of like as a museum piece. Like this was our first one we ever had, or whatever the case.
It's funny you say that. Every time we post something about it, it still has the truck number
I've seen that
on the door.
From the town. Like where was it from? Like
Ringo,
Catoosa County, Georgia.
Yeah, that's pretty
North
amazing.
Georgia.
Yeah,
but I actually got a buddy of mine that's actually from Ringgold County.
Oh wow,
here now, but yeah,
and so like they recognize it.
Oh, people all the time. People all the time, or they'll hit him up talking about my dad run his first fire call, or I'll run my first fire call in that truck.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's super neat.
And it was a fully functioning fire truck.
And we made it not
so y'all had to de-pipe all the pipes and stuff out of it and everything.
Pumps,
yeah. Whole bed went. And
I'm sure that was a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like just in parts and pieces and that thing.
We kept it in a reasonable budget.
Well, I'm talking about the parts that came off of it. Think about having to buy that stuff and replace it on a vehicle.
Sure, Connor's got it sitting beside his shop somewhere.
Probably. He's going to rebuild a whole.
Wouldn't be worth putting back in commission.
Pack rat.
Yeah. I'm sure they're just outdated and stuff. But I mean, it's a cool concept. And I like like the rat rods are a big deal now. People are into those. I know a couple of guys they'd rather do that than anything. Because, you just. Creation's the limit at that point. Creativity, like whatever you can dream up and build, it's cool. And like the way those guys see it, every one of them special because it's such a unique
everybody's got
thing.
their special touch.
Yeah. Like, you don't even know what the name of that car is. If it's a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge, just like a Johnny Cash song.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
One piece at a time, baby.
Yeah.
You just kind of look at each other when you see one in a show. You're like, what is that?
Yeah,
Me and him stare at them longer than probably anything because you notice different little things. Like you said, everybody puts their touch on it.
Yeah,
and you see like a Jack Daniels bottle for a surge tank on one or something
kind of
like
crazy
that.
stuff. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Like we might even dream up something like that if you guys are into it, since you're into the metal. And
absolutely.
it can be stainless or just regular old panels. It don't even have to be anything else, because then like people are into that stuff these days. So creativity.
12-valve hot rod, baby. I love it.
Look, that would be bad. Yeah. I'm always big into smokestacks.
Oh yeah, stacks are.
Yeah. I think that's just the
gotta be there.
Just miter cut it out with turbo.
Dog-eared.
Just dog-eared out. Yeah. I love it. So I think that going forward, I look forward to our relationship growing and we doing more and more stuff. You're probably gonna see more of Randy than me because he's got his own projects.
Supposedly, we're gonna see Randy tomorrow.
Yeah. He's got a lot going on. They do some snow removal, and we're getting ready to have a little bit of snow. And so
everybody's battening down the hatches.
Yeah, a little bit, and of course. Randy's, we were talking about this, and you'll learn this about him. He gets mad when I say this, but we were joking on the show last week. He's a Mount Everest guy, So you're like, hey, we're going to start doing this. We're going to start walking up that hill over there behind your house, Garrett, starting Monday. And Randy's like, well, okay. By Friday, though, we're going to be at Mount Everest. You know what I mean? And that's how he does me. So I keep him in check, and then he gets me going on things. So like I'll be the one who
yin and yang.
Yeah. And it works great because I'm able to go, all right, no. We can't do that many. You know what I mean? Or we can't do that much. But
reel it back just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But he's got the greatest ideas, and then he knows that I'm the guy that I'll just put it in motion, and I start running with it and calling people and getting everybody interested. And so that's how our relationship works. And so he supports everything I do. I do as much as I can for him as well. I don't know if it's an equal relationship, but I do the best I can with it. But he's you'll learn that real quick. He'll be over there, and he's so good, man. Like he likes the vision you have or something, Like as soon as he met you, he's like, "This is our place."
Awesome.
Well, I got him riled up on the phone too, so we'll see.
Yeah. So he's a good as gold guy, man. He loves hot rods. He's had some pretty cool cars. Like he had the last year of the Bronco they made back in the 70s, and it was really nice. Sold it, made great money on it, but like 2 years later, the Bronco popped.
Tripled,
and he's like, man, I was so stupid. I'm like, no, you can't go back and change things, Randy. It just was what it was.
Or how can you foresee a trend like that?
Right. So he sold it to a guy who sold it for like twice as much as he paid him, and Randy made twice as much as he paid on it. It's like those things are just ridiculous right now. They really are. Even the new ones are crazy.
I was about to say, even the C10s are super hot trucks
so
right
silly,
now.
Man. Yeah, it really is. Well, again, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate everything you're doing. Continue on. We'll get another togetherness here. We'll do another podcast soon, and we'll talk about the next thing y'all are doing. I always want to promote what you got. And if you guys got something special you want to be doing, talk about, we can do that too.
Right.
So
absolutely. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome, brother.
Yes,
appreciate it. Thank y'all. All right, guys. All right. So join us next time on the Local Yokels Podcast. And remember to subscribe, listen, like, whatever you want to do. Go follow these guys' page at Outlaw Intentions. And remember to show us our main sponsor some love over at roofworks.com. You can reach them at roofworksmidsouth.com. And follow our page on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever it's at. Love to hear from you. Until next time, guys. Thank you. Bye.